All right, let's get going. We got 37 viewers already. Awesome. Good evening, Alina. Larson, how are you? I'm doing well. Welcome. Chat, thank you so much for the like once again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. So today's a special event. The reason why it's special, it is a 36-year anniversary of the worst nuclear disaster ever happened in history. So what we're doing today is we're going to be flying this Airbus H145 helicopter. We're going to overfly city of Kyiv. Then we're going to go to Chernobyl, city of Chernobyl. Hey Taylor, how you doing? Justin, hi, what's up? How's it going? We're going to visit the nuclear power plant, as well as a few of the places that I visited as well. And then we're going to head back to Kyiv. Chat says, I'm a private pilot, love flight sim. Awesome. That's awesome. Well, private pilot here as well. All right, so you guys probably know what Chernobyl is. Most of you know. There we go, Elena with 200 stars. Thank you so much for the generous donation. So just wanted to let you know, guys, every star you send today, every star, so whatever it's 1 star, 5 stars, or 200 or 500,000, will go towards the charity. So we're donating all stars sent today, so none of it will go to me. If you guys want to support the stream, and support the good cause. So Second Front Ukraine is a charity that sends the humanitarian supplies to Ukraine today because, the unfortunate things have happened. Chad, thank you so much for the 200. Thanks a lot. Hey, Drew, how you doing? Thank you so much, Chad. Appreciate it. And, and I just wanted to say quickly, when I visited the zone, Chad, thanks a lot for the 99. Thank you. When I visited the zone, 1 year ago, we did the same stream, exact same stream, and we've donated to Children of Ukraine, Children of Chernobyl Fund. It was a charity stream, and then, I decided to actually visit the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, and with all the stars that you guys sent me in the past, a year ago, I decided to visit it, and I went to Ukraine this September in 2021. I visited the zone, and, recorded a whole bunch of videos, and, awesome, Matt, thank you so much for 310 stars, appreciate it, guys. And little did I know that half a year later, here I am, streaming this with realizing that it's not the same. Ukraine is not the same. It's not the way it used to be. And the tragedy that happened 36 years ago, I did not realize that something a lot more terrible will happen in Ukraine. So today we're just gonna fly to Chernobyl. I'm gonna show you everything that I saw. And I'll show you a couple of pictures, actually. But before we do that, some pictures that I took in the zone. So I went to the zone for 2 days. These videos are coming. You've probably seen my flight to Chernobyl with Plain Ukraine, blogger. I would have loved to see Pripyat in Chernobyl. Yes, absolutely. Unfortunately, this might not be possible. So just quickly, I did prepare some photos for you guys that I took. So here it is. I guess I'm not sure why it shows this, but 1 second. I'm gonna just. It should be showing. Let's see. Yeah. So, for example, there's just a few photos that I took. Chernobyl. I'm gonna show you all of them actually as we're gonna fly. And yeah. So here I am in front of the sarcophagus. The famous sarcophagus of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. The Unit 4 that exploded. So all thanks to you guys, by the way, a while back. And now we're gonna go see it virtually. So with that, what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna just go through the briefing. So I know I have a little intro here. So once again, Matt, thank you so much for sending stars. All right, so here we are. We're in Boryspil International Airport. This airport is closed due to the current situation. There's no commercial flights are going to this airport. So it is closed, but in our virtual world, we'll assume that nothing is happening. So we will take off from Boryspil. We will then fly to Kyiv, which is the capital city of Ukraine. So we're gonna go through a couple of landmarks. We're gonna go see Maidan. We're gonna go see the Iron Lady, the famous statue. So Justin's asking, how much radiation did you hit when you went there? So the radiation equivalent that I got 2 days being there, and that is being in a hotel, and you know, in the zone itself in Chernobyl. I've got about, well, the radiation dose was less than the flight from Toronto to Paris. Let's put it this way, because what you get in there is the X-ray radiation, which is not really harmful. X-ray, well, the gamma and beta particles really. So of course you'd want to avoid alpha particles, but we weren't exposed to that. So the radiation that we got was quite minor, and I had the both Geiger counter with me and the counter that you put on your neck, so it was recording the dose. All right, so we're gonna just fly sort of north. Toronto, not Toronto. Exactly, Toronto. Hey, King, how's it going, man? David, thanks a lot for sharing the stream, man. Thank you so much. Okay, so then we're gonna go fly to Chernobyl Exclusion Zone. So this right here is the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, and over here, so it's border of Ukraine and Belarus. So Belarus is this way. So what's interesting is take a look at how, you know, close it is to the Kyiv. So if we just plot this ruler over here, it's only 55 nautical miles. So it's very close to Kyiv. So that's what's interesting about it. And of course we're gonna fly the entrance of the Chernobyl exclusion zone. It's called Dityatki. That's the main entry point. Then we're gonna overfly the town of Chernobyl. I'm gonna tell you all the facts about it. Here's an interesting fact. The town of Chernobyl is actually an inhabitable town. People live there. So most people that live there are the ones who are servicing the nuclear power plant, which is just maybe like 7 kilometers away. Well, 7 nautical miles, which is about 14 kilometers away. So city of Chernobyl, where people live there, and we actually stayed there in hotels. So there's a couple of hotels here, and I've stayed in one of them when I went there for 2 days. And then, yeah, we're gonna go fly the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. So you'll see the new safe confinement, also known as Navarka. So that's the new arc, and I'll tell you all about it. And then we'll visit the city of Pripyat, which is the ghost town. So one of the biggest, well, I think it is the biggest ghost town in the world. So we're gonna visit that town there, and then we're gonna go see the Soviet Union Duga radar. So this was a top secret object in Soviet Union. So back in 1986, it would not be possible to visit at all. So Sean says, let's go. Yes, we're going, guys. So just want to make sure you understand what we're doing. Patrick, thank you so much for the 100 stars. Once again, a quick reminder, all stars that you sent today are going to the charity. This charity is by Second Front Ukraine. These are my friends. I know them from Toronto. It's a legit charity fund. They're actually doing a concert tomorrow. So everything that you donate today will go directly to them. So none of the stars will go to me. Robert, thank you so much for a donation. Thanks a lot. The 200, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. So yeah, and if we hit the minimum, I'm still not sure what the minimum is. They want to send the shirts, your way. So if we hit the minimum amount of stars sent today, and I hope we get at least some, you guys will get the top 3 donors will get the t-shirts. Just so you know. So once again, for me, this is just I just want to share the experience with you guys. Obviously, the stars are. And Game Boy Red, thank you so much for the raid, man. Thank you so much, Game Boy Red, another awesome streamer. Thank you so much for the raid. Jumbo said, "Woohoo! Right, let's go. Let's get going." Okay, so we are in this helicopter. Of course, we're gonna follow the real world procedures. So just bear with me while I start it up. Waiting for some radiation to cook my fries. No, man. Well, you mean the microwave radiation? Actually, microwave radiation is actually radiation, but it's the different type of radiation. It's non-ionizing. Okay, so fuel load managers check, tablets set. All right, so battery master. So of course we're gonna give you a bit of that aviation fix, but today we're gonna be flying it in a non-advanced mode. Okay, so battery master. So we're gonna hit on and then engage. So we hear the sound. Let me know if you can hear the sound. I think you can hear the sound, right? Somewhat. Hey Ryan, how's it going? Hey, all right. So battery master is engaged. So we're gonna test the fire, the fire systems. So let's test that.
Fire. Engine 1 fire.
Okay, so engine 1 fire test. Engine 2 fire test.
Fire. Engine 2 fire.
Okay, engine 2 fire test and engine 1 fire test is complete. Okay, so test switch is on lamp. Okay, so we're doing first few tests. Robert says perfect. You need them cold again. Yeah, no, you're good. Just check. Sound check. It sounds good. Thank you so much, guys. Once again, thanks to Game Boy Red, awesome streamer, for raiding us. I appreciate the raid, man. Thank you so much, Brian Turner. Thanks a lot for the like, Justin, Ryan, Toma. Thank you so much, guys. All right, so we got the test done, and let's go quickly just check that that all lamps are good. Okay, so let's turn off the fire test. So let's turn that test off. Okay, so VM page, yeah, we're gonna good. Check for messages, and then we're gonna set the barometer is already set, so position lights as required. So we're gonna set the position lights. Ooh, thank you so much, Ronald. Thank you so much. I'll donate 200 towards humanitarian aid for Ukraine. Thank you so much, man. All the stars are going to that fund, and I will post the screenshot of my transfer after the stream, after we calculate it. Hey, dude, have a good stream, bye. Thank you so much, Game Boy Red. Thank you so much. Stick around, man. It's gonna be an interesting stream. I'll share what I saw in Chernobyl, so if you'd like to find out, yeah, stick around. All right, so of course we're gonna start the engine. Okay, so let's do the anti-collision lights. Okay, anti-collision lights are on. Okay, fuel prime pumps are on. 1 and 2 on. Okay, perfect. And we're gonna have the starting test. And let's start the engines. There we go. Engines are now starting. There we go. Look at this beautiful Airbus H145 helicopter from Hype Performance Group. And thanks a lot for the likes, guys. Thank you so much. Thanks for sticking around. Brian Turner, thanks a lot for the stars. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for sending stars. Once again, stars will be sent to Second Front Ukraine. This is the verified funds by my friends. I know them really well. So my Ukrainian friends from Toronto. Hey, Adam, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. All right, so let's test the hydraulics. So I'm going to go ahead and test the hydraulics while the engine is now powering up. And to test the hydraulics, we're going to go here, system 1. Okay, let's check. Okay, there we go. System 2. Okay, hydraulics good. Tested. Hydraulics are tested. There we go. All right, hello from Colorado. Hey, Adam. Hey, Eric. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy this tour to Chernobyl today. Very special event. Once again. Okay, so after engine start, fuel prime is now off. Okay, transfers are on. And standby battery is on. Avionics standby battery is on. Avionic masters are on. Pitot static is on. And lav switch is now on. Yeah, no, I'm not a helicopter pilot, so just you know, I'm just looking at the okay, the lights. Okay, IPS, lav switches, LAVC. Perfect. So that's PIL. Okay, that's good. And then emergency lights are armed. Perfect. And air conditioning ventilation is good. Okay, so pre-flight procedures. We have collective is good. Test light switch. We're going to test the lamps once again. Okay, let's test it. So all lamps are good. Perfect. So that test is complete. All right, number 1 toilet. Yeah, so Chernobyl League of Freedom YouTube channel. Super fascinating. Tommy, I'm going to post my Chernobyl videos because I've been there in about few days, because you've probably seen my flight. I actually went there for 2 days. So today will be the tour of Chernobyl in a helicopter, as well as I'm going to talk about what happened there, what I've done there. So what was the real tour like. So yeah, that's your first time in a helicopter. Perfect. So there you go. Look at that. You have your passenger seat over here. You know, it's all good. We're not in the regular helicopter. We're in a military helicopter. So these guys are, you know, they're gonna actually, okay, let me just look to the left over here. They're gonna protect us today. You know, the situation aren't the greatest, so of course, you know, there it is. So this is the Ukrainian helicopter. This is the Ukrainian border control helicopter. So that's what we're flying today. Okay, so test switch. Okay, so let's just finish the tests. Of course, you know, we need to make sure that we're gonna make it somewhat educational today. And okay, so there you go. Test lamps. Okay, test is off. Perfect. And then I'm gonna do the pre-flight test, and then we're just gonna quickly wait for the pre-flight test to say that it's done. And while I get a sip of my tea. Tommy said, I saw your previous flyby. Nice. Does the simulator give specific checklists to run through before takeoff? So I'm running a special checklist just for this helicopter specifically. Okay, so there we go, pre-flight test, okay. So we're doing it just like a real flight somewhat. Because we did skip a couple of annoying ones. Perfect, so that test is complete. And now we're going to go into the autopilot system. So first we need to have the autopilot system armed. It's all good. That's perfect. And then emergency floats, searchlight, required flight plan. Okay, so we're quickly going to check the flight plan. So let's load the flight plan. I already loaded up. Okay, perfect. So flight plan is good. And then we're going to set the transponder to on and altitude reporting actually. So there we go. So just transponder ident. Perfect. And we're good. So we're going to load up the map and that's good. That's all good to go. And we are pretty much good. So now engine 1 and 2 switches are latched. Okay, so let's latch this one. Let's do the flight. And latch that. Strobes, okay, final checks. We're gonna go there. Strobes are on, landing lights on, and everything's good. We are good to take off, guys. There we go. We're ready for takeoff. Let's head to the zone. But first, we're gonna give you a little tour of Kyiv. So Justin says, are you gonna be able to fly the CH-47 Chinook? Yeah, if someone comes up with a good one, we're gonna be able to fly it. Okay, let's take off now. There we go in Boryspil Airport. Gonna quickly just give us a bit of a nicer view. And of course, we're not gonna follow all the takeoff procedures. We obviously need to go. We need to start with, and by the way, awesome. Thank you for your service, Ryan. Absolutely. Former Army UH-60 crew chief here. Thanks for doing a helicopter. Oh, for sure, Ryan. Thank you so much once again, sir. Thank you so much for your service. Thanks a lot, man. This is awesome that we have, wow, we have a helicopter crew chief. That's amazing. That's awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're definitely going to enjoy this tour because we are going to go through the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone. And this is a military helicopter as well. It's a military version. So once again, guys, all stars that you send today will be donated to Second Front Ukraine. This donation will go directly to the fund for humanitarian supplies. You know, because of the situation in Ukraine, we're going to overfly a couple of spots that got affected due to the current war. Just because we're pretty much flying in a zone that's right now is not, we won't be able to do this flight right now because you know what, right? I'm gonna try to avoid all the political discussions because this is, you know, I tried not to do that on the stream, but you know, we can do at very least is to help out poor people. So once again, I'll try to make it as educational as I can. I'm gonna share my experience in Chernobyl when I was there this September, and you know, if you guys like it, it'd be great if you send stars that we will donate to the charity. Thank you so much. Francis, a little over 2,000 hours of Blackbird with about 1,000 combat hours. Love your channel. Oh man, this is amazing. Thank you so much, Ryan. That's awesome. Wow, 2,000 hours. That is crazy. 2,000 hours with 1,000 combat hours. Wow. Wow, that's incredible. That is incredible. Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, Ronald says, I would like to take a helicopter ride through the Grand Canyon. Can you do that someday? Yeah, absolutely. It's actually a great idea. So we'll do a Vegas tour. We'll do a Grand Canyon tour one day. So, Kellen, thank you so much for becoming a follower. Thanks a lot for hitting that follow button. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, so here we are. We are just east of Kyiv. Right now we're approaching Kyiv. So just to show you what's going on, here's our map. So Kyiv right here is capital city of Ukraine. So we're going to overfly the district of Poznyaki, and then we're going to overfly the center of Kyiv, where we'll see, you know, Kyiv, Pechorska Lavra. We'll see the Iron Lady statue, and so on. happens. I think I lost the creative studio 1 second. Live dashboard. There we go. Just lost the window. Okay, there it is. It scared me for a second. This Facebook thing is so unpredictable. Okay, there it is. Right, Ronald, thanks a lot for liking the stream. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it. And right now we're overflying city of Kyiv. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures from there. Just, you know, a couple of pictures that I took. So at the very beginning that we're going to overfly. So, of course, the first monument that we're going to see is called Iron Lady. So this is the picture of an Iron Lady. That's how the statue looks like. And then there's a giant Ukrainian flag, of course. And you know, you see the 2 tanks, actually 3 tanks. One of them is painted in Ukrainian flag. And this is a drone picture that I took. So we'll first see that statue as we're doing a quick tour of Kyiv, as well as there's Kyiv Pechorska Lavra. That's a huge cathedral over there. So that's pretty much what we're gonna see first. So right now we are flying through the eastern side of Kyiv. It's a beautiful city here. This is a previously generated terrain scenery. Absolutely. So it's previously generated. This was, I think, a current as of maybe a couple of years ago. So yeah, Wild Alpaca, thank you so much for becoming a follower. Thank you so much, man. Awesome. So, by the way, guys, if you want to fly with me, my multiplayer is open. I'm an FLT streamer. Add me to Xbox if you guys want to fly together. The multiplayer is open, okay? So that you'll be able to join us on the live stream. All right, so we're approaching a few bridges. So I think the first bridge is New Darnitsky Bridge. It's a Darnitsky Bridge, and then the Patona Bridge. Yeah, so Paton Bridge, right? So 2 of these ones. And then the one on the left is Ivdeni Bridge over here. Ash Jones, thanks a lot for the like. Anastasia, thank you so much for sharing the stream. Anastasia went with me, actually, so she was there with me. Okay, so on the left-hand side, that's the Ivdeni Bridge over here on the left-hand side, as we're looking at Kyiv right now and its landmarks. And of course, the first thing that we're going to see is the monument of the Iron Lady, so Iron Lady Monument. Back in the Soviet Union times, this was the monument for World War II. Okay, so with the commands and game features same or just graphics? Well, so basically the terrain is pretty much the same as the real world. You know, and all of the commands. The helicopter is the most realistic one here in the flight sim today. This is the Airbus H145 by High Performance Group. So these guys are awesome, and this is their helicopter. Make sure to check them out. And here it is. The first monument that we're seeing right now is called Iron Lady. As we are approaching, Ryan, thank you so much for sending the 50. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. Once again, all star donations today will not go to me. They will go to the charity Second Front Ukraine. These guys are sending humanitarian supplies to the war zone right now, to Ukraine. So originally, if you know, war didn't happen, we would do that charity stream to the Kids Foundation or to the children of Chernobyl. But because things have changed drastically and there's war going on, we've changed this to the actual humanitarian supplies to those that are affected. So there it is. There's the Iron Lady, as I showed you in the picture. That's how the Iron Lady looks like when I took the picture of it over here, and that's how it looks like here. So very realistic. So this is a custom scenery I got from FlightSim.to. Yeah, it's cross-platform. Yep. So if you were playing it in Xbox, you wouldn't be able to actually see this scenery because it's custom scenery that you'll have to import. So this was done by Ukrainian. It's free scenery that you can get from FlightSim.to. So if you go to my page, you'll be able to see the link to the scenery. I posted it in the announcements post. So there it is. There's the Iron Lady Monument. So if we take a look at the drone position that I did a while back, so there it is, and look how realistic this is. This is my drone shot over here, and that's the flight simulator. So Wild Alpaca, nice. You'll join us. Awesome. Yes. So this is the Iron Lady statue, and we are flying in Kyiv, the capital city of Ukraine. And the next is the Kyiv Pechorska Lavra. And just a quick reminder for those who just joined, we're doing a tour in Kyiv first, and then we'll go to Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, and in about 20 minutes we'll get there. So this is the picture I took of the Kyiv Pechorska Lavra. This is the big monastery that's there in Kyiv. Yes. Okay, now we're gonna overfly the Independence Square of Kyiv. So it's called Maidan Nezalezhnosti, so that's the Independence Square. So we're going this way now. So one of the pictures I took there, the Maidan Square looks like that. And then we'll see it in the simulator as well. Justin says, I've been playing my War Thunder and my skills are 100% great. I'm not a real pilot, but my skills are awesome. Oh, that's awesome, dude. It's awesome. Okay, here it is. Here's Maidan Nezalezhnosti. I'll show you the hotel that we stayed in. Flight Simulator constantly doing updates, keeps train today. Graphics are unbelievable. Oh yeah, exactly. Okay, so there it is. There's Maidan. Once again, just to show you the picture. Looks like that, and there it is. There's that building. So we're gonna do a bit of a circle around it. So that's how Maidan looks like. It looks in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Over here on the right-hand side, there's the hotel that we stayed over here. And then there's a really cool restaurant in here. It's there's a mall, and then there's a cool restaurant. It's called Astanya Barrikada. So if you ever go to Kyiv, I suggest to visit it. It's a really nice restaurant and a museum. It's like a restaurant slash bar and a museum. So this is a historical Independence Square. Eric, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for sending 100 stars. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Once again, stars are donated to the charity today. So thanks so much. Darcel, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. So once again, compare the picture. And you can see there's that building over here. And then this is the square. It's called Independence Square, Maidan. So we're going to do one more circle here. And then we're going to fly. Just going to quickly take a look at the TV tower. And I believe that TV tower was hit by Russian forces. So we're going to check that tower just a bit. There's another monastery here. I don't know exactly the name of it, but... So one of my friends who's a pilot, so from Plane Ukraine, the one that I flew to Chernobyl with, he said that they look at that TV tower, it's like a VFR landmark. So if the cloud covers any part of the TV tower, it means you can't fly. So that's how they see it. Manuel says, in your future streams, would you be able to place a second camera feed on your flight stick? Oh yeah, exactly. Actually, you know what? I'll do that. I'm about to do it because I was going to set it up, but just to show you, yeah, let me just... Okay, there it is. There's the flight stick that I'm using over here. This is the A10 replica. So that's the one I'm using, and I'm using the pedals as well. So I'll definitely do that. That's a great idea. Great idea. So just once again, we're overflying the city of Kyiv, which is the capital city of Ukraine. You all heard about all of the unfortunate news. So yeah, that's the tower over here, the TV tower that was hit. But apparently it still stands, so I think there was only damage done to the equipment on top of it, so communication equipment. Yeah, that's the famous TV tower in Kyiv. So as we gonna do a bit of a circle, there you go, so you can see it on the right hand side as a passenger view. There it is. It's a bit of a tour. Yeah, Blaine. So yes, the forest, it's called Red Forest. There's a forest near nuclear power plants, and it's actually, and I'll show you where the Red Forest is specifically. So this forest is extremely and highly contaminated. So while the ambient radiation is closely at around 2000 microrentgens per hour, if you disturb the soil, it will get worse. Ryan, thanks a lot for the 50, man. Thank you so much for the 50 stars. Thanks a lot, man. Ryan Barkin, thank you so much for liking the stream. Thank you so much for your donation. This will all go to Second Front, Ukraine. Thanks a lot for your donations, guys. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Justin says, I used to climb cell phone towers. That tower was super short. Super stout. Yeah, super stout. Nice. Oh, sorry if I misread your comments. Okay, so now we're gonna fly. Let's see which district is it. I think it's Abolon. Yeah, Abolon district. So this is a district in the north of Kyiv. That's where the pilot lives.
Patrick Walton sent 500 stars.
Oh my god, Patrick, thank you so much for the 500. Thank you so much, man. You're incredible. Thanks a lot for sending 500 stars. Once again, all stars will go towards the charity today. And Caesar, thank you so much for the 50. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Once again, thanks a lot, guys. This is incredible. Thank you. The Second Front guys will be extremely happy that we're helping them out. And just for the record, they did not ask me to do this. I decided to do it. So once again, I think if we hit the threshold, that will allow us to get the T-shirts. You know, top 3 senders will get T-shirts from them. The nice looking T-shirts. Okay, so now we're flying to Obolon, and what we're gonna do now? Oh my goodness, Ryan, 1,000 stars, man. That's incredible. Ryan says, I love the whole Chernobyl story. This is great. Where do you fly out of normally? Live in the U.S.? So I live in Toronto.
1,000 stars.
Wow, thanks, man. Thank you so much. So I live in Canada, so I fly out of Toronto, Canada.
USA.
I have the PPL, so I fly Diamond TA40, and I've been to Chernobyl this September, so I actually went there. So today I'm going to talk about our trip, and we're gonna not only that we've overflew Chernobyl with Victor, one of the pilots from Plane Ukraine. I actually went there for 2 days, and what heli is this? Oh, this is the Airbus H145. So this livery is Держава Прикордонна Служба України. So this is the border services, border guard of Ukraine. And this actually says they will not pass. So quite ironic. This livery was done before the whole thing happened. So, absolutely. Tommy, from what I saw, only some areas where they burned vehicles and debris were the worst contaminated in the Red Forest was only 30, 50 millisieverts. Actually, so yes and no. So yeah, the vehicles were extremely contaminated, but the Red Forest is actually really contaminated. The reason is all of the debris, all of the graphite, all of the contamination particles during that explosion actually flew to Red Forest. So the reason it's called Red Forest because it actually turned red right after the explosion. All of the leaves died, so that's why it's called Red Forest. So just to let you know, and I'm going to show you something. So this is the video I took on an airplane flying at 39,000 feet. So I'm going to show you that in a second. So let's see if you can see it. Okay, let's see if I can. Okay, yeah, so there it is. So I don't think let's see. Okay, so right now the current level of radiation is 330 microrentgens per hour. So this is the Geiger counter I took on the flight. Now this is 344 microrentgens. Multiplied by 100, you'll get microsieverts. So that's 3,250 microsieverts per hour. So every time you fly overseas, you're exposed to gamma levels that are pretty high. So the radiation dose that I got, assuming that we did it very safely, was not more than that. Absolutely, it was actually pretty much exactly the same, if not probably less. Part of a history teacher, part pilot. Keep up the good work. Oh, Jesse, thank you so much for 1,200 stars. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Part pilot, keep up the good work.
Yeah. So,
face.
thanks, Jesse. Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. So today's all stars will go to charity. So thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome. You guys all make me so So I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you guys. This is excellent. So just to tell you a bit about myself and why Chernobyl for me, and why did I talk a lot about it? So I remember I did talk a lot about it. Oh, by the way, right now, just quickly, you're passing by the Nowy Petrivci. So this is where the mansion of the former president of Yanukovych, the pro-Russian president, he was there. That was his mansion, and then the mansion got seized by the Ukrainian government. So
Iron Crude on DC sent 1,200
oh my God, Ryan!
stars.
Oh, sounds like a great charity. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna tag them right now so you can see who they are. These guys are awesome. I know them personally, by the way. So I know them personally, and they were formed right after the war started. So these guys right here, I'm gonna tag them right now. Once again, thank you so much for the generous donations, guys. This is incredible. Jesse and Brian, thank you so much. So I just tagged them so you can go check them out. These guys are legit, and of course, I'm gonna take a screening after when we'll send it to them. Then once again, all the top, like if we hit a certain threshold, I'm gonna calculate. The top 3 will get t-shirts. So these guys also have merchandise that helps them with the getting all the funds. Well, look at that. Scott Bannon, thank you so much. Praying for Ukraine. Thank you so much, Scott. Thanks a lot, man. Oleg, thank you so much for the 500. Awesome. We got the charity stream going on. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are incredible. So right now, just so you know, what we're doing right now is we are heading to the town of Chernobyl. So it's going to take a little while. So it is roughly around... Actually, you know what? First, we'll do the...
Oleg Sverdlov sent 500 stars.
We'll do the entrance to the zone. So the entrance of the zone, this is the checkpoint, the first checkpoint as you enter exclusion zone. Oleg, thank you so much. And Scott, thank you so much. Morning, Oleg. Yes, Oleg's here, right. There were actually 2 dudes that went swimming in the river with the cooled reactors, then paid the 2 rubles for a radiation exam. So, yes and no. So these guys were actually the scuba divers. They didn't really swim in the river. They actually went underneath the reactor to make sure that they drained water. So it's underneath the reactor itself. It's not the river. So they had to drain that water so that to prevent the thermonuclear explosion. So there were a lot of controversy around it, and of course this operation was led by Valery Legasov. He's the chief scientist that was part of that operation. And as you know, you probably know what happened, right? You probably know what happened when you saw the HBO series, and I think HBO series are quite accurate in my opinion. Not really. I'd say historically accurate as well, because they're based on one of the books that I've read, and they're just the film itself is it's not a documentary, right? Therefore, they exaggerated a few things, but in terms of explaining what happened, they were actually spot on. That's exactly what happened. There was an experiment done, and on Unit 4 in Chernobyl nuclear power plant on Saturday. April 26, 1986, and this happened at I think 12:24 and 55 seconds. So 12 a.m., 54 minutes and 55 seconds. I don't remember exact time, but yeah. Anyways, so the explosion itself happened. It was a routine test that they wanted to do. So they wanted to check if the turbines were able to generate enough electricity if the plant had no external power. So they were testing those systems, and they were running experiments at an extremely low power setting. So I think they went to the 50 megawatts, and there were lots of crucial mistakes done. There were a lot of safety protocols that they did not follow. So they actually could only start that experiment with the 800 megawatt power setting, but they started at a very low power setting. So that's what contributed to that explosion. And of course, there was a lot of xenon gas that was there, and that also contributed to the fact that the power setting was very low. But because they've shut down some of the systems, and the water pumps could not pump enough water, and unfortunately that caused 50 megawatt. So it could have been a lot. Yeah, so they were running at low power, and all of a sudden, when the xenon gas went away, the power just went up significantly higher. So it went to like 30,000 megawatts, and that's what caused the explosion. And when they pressed the AZ5 button, you know, the famous AZ5 button that you heard on you know, in the movie, and that actually exactly what happened is the safety button. They were taught that, you know, if you press the button, it will magically stop the reaction. Well, it would stop the reaction, but not when the situation went so critical in their case. And it had the graphite rods that were used for that system as they were going down. They had the boron materials that were boron tips, basically. And those boron tips, they, for a split second, they increased the reactivity, and then the graphite rods would absorb that activity. So the boron tips actually what caused that big spike and what caused the explosion, which was very ironic, and that was the design of the nuclear power plants back in the day. And Legasov, you know, his chief scientist, tried to actually change that design, and he was discredited by Russian government. And unfortunately, 2 years after this, you know, the explosion, he actually committed suicide. So that's the sad story. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna fly to that checkpoint. So I'm gonna show you how checkpoint looks like. So so what show? Apologies if it's already been said. Yeah, it's the HBO Chernobyl series. You guys should watch it if you're curious what about Chernobyl catastrophe. You should watch it. So you may be wondering, what did I take on my Chernobyl trip? So when I went there for 2 days. So this is exactly what I took. Of course, I took 2 drones because I actually managed to crash one of them. So I took the DJI Mavic 2. Of course, the audio recorder. Then the batteries. Then of course this is the Geiger counter right here. So the one on the bottom right. This is the Masur PRM 9000, the very good Geiger counter. And of course the GoPro and the iPhone and things like that. So, and the stabilizer. So that's what I took. Chernobyl Diaries, it's actually not good. I'm gonna tell you the best movie about Chernobyl. It's actually not the Chernobyl series. It's called Inseparables. This is the Ukrainian movie that I think was the best ever. So I think Inseparables is the best. All right. So also, here's me near Dityatki. So this is the checkpoints that we're gonna overfly now. So this is the entrance to the zone. As you can see, it says Dityatki. Dityatki, actually, that's the Ukrainian way of saying it. So this is the checkpoint to enter to the zone. We're gonna overfly it right now, and I'm gonna show you to how it looks from the air. So that's the checkpoint to enter to the zone. And as we are approaching it right now, you'll see it on my ForeFlight. We're kind of getting close to it right here. So this is that entrance to the zone over here. That's the checkpoint. So this is the town of Dityatki, and then the checkpoint is over here. So that's the checkpoint. So this is the first checkpoint. Entrance to the zone, of course, it's heavily regulated. I had to go through a series of approvals in order to get there, and this was done with the tour operator. So they check your criminal records, everything. They check everything basically, and then, you know, they want to make sure you're not like a Russian spy of some sort. So, and then in order to fly drones, I had to get a special permit. So I had to sign the waiver to say that I am aware of all of the regulations, and you know, that I know that I cannot fly close to the nuclear power plant and so on. And this is why the drone footage that you'll see in my upcoming videos that I'm going to release, they actually happened over here. So see where Pripyat is, and this is a restricted airspace. So if you take a look at this red rectangle over here, that's restricted airspace. So by the town of Pripyat, I was able to take some footage over here. So I'm gonna just clear that. It's over here. So I was able to fly around here, and then I took the footage there. So some of the photos and videos that I took with that drone, I'll show it to you real quick. like this. So this is one of the photos that I took over here. So you can see the nuclear power plant in the distance, the new safe confinement, as well as the ghost town of Pripyat. That's how it looks. All right, red tag on your jacket, Poilet. Yes, exactly. That's that. Yeah, exactly. So red tag is they removed before flight. Yeah, Maria Poezhaeva was fabulous in that movie. Oh, Tommy, you know it. Yes, Maria Poezhaeva. Yes, exactly. She is incredible actress. And I think, yeah, she's pretty much made that movie. Yeah, but what I like about Inseparable, and now that, oh my god, you know that movie, that's awesome. So what I like about Inseparable is the fact that they actually modeled the nuclear power plant exactly how it is. Exactly how it is. So, by the way, we're just overflying a few villages that actually trees look healthy. Oh yeah, trees look very healthy, and you'll see like there's a lot of animals there. So there's a lot of misconception about Chernobyl. So see all of these villages were unfortunately attacked by, you know, the Russian forces, unfortunately. Okay, so here we are. We're almost entering the zone right now. We have about maybe a couple of minutes. A nice picture of the self-flight streamer. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure you see that I was there, right? That I've been there. Yes, I was there this September. Oleg, thanks a lot for the like, man. Thank you so much. So Blaine says, unfortunately, there's too many regulations here. Even in the US, you have to call and fly your drone, take a picture of the sunset before you get clearance. Yeah, no, 100%. So I have the advanced drone certificate in Canada, so I know exactly what you mean. So you have to make sure that you do exactly as you act like a pilot of an aircraft, basically, when you're flying a drone. All right, so yeah, please ask me questions. You can ask me questions about radiation. I'll tell you some interesting stories too. Once we're gonna overfly a few of those spots. So I have some few stories from the Chernobyl trip. So another interesting fact is, as I said, Chernobyl itself is a city that is inhabitable. There's people that live there. So we stayed there in a hotel. But the interesting part about it is, after 10 o'clock, they lock you in. So they lock all the doors. You're basically behind the, behind the fence, like a jail. So they lock you in, and you're not able to get out. And they also have what's called an alcohol time, where you can consume alcoholic beverages. I think it's from 8 to 10, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it was 8 to 10. So actually, no, wait. It was not. No, it was from 7 to 9. Yeah, it was 7 to 9, and then at 10, you're actually they actually close it down. So there's a curfew. All right, so we're approaching. So we're pretty much entering the zone. So this is the exclusion zone. Beautiful forests, and we're gonna overfly that Dityatki checkpoint. So once again, this checkpoint, basically you go through a radiation control. They check you for the radiation. It's the final radiation checkpoint, but they check you only when you get out. So when you get in, you just have to register, and they want to make sure that you're good to go. So it was a military controlled zone, and the National Guard of Ukraine is the one that was guarding it. And now the status of the zone is kind of still unknown. Doesn't like 500 people live in Chernobyl village? Yes, exactly. They still live there, exactly around 500 people. So these people are basically servicing the power plant. So yeah, Oleg says, I just realized today's April 26th. Exactly, April 26th. Exactly 36 years ago, the worst nuclear disaster in history happened in Chernobyl, and that's exactly where we're flying today. I'm gonna glad to catch another live stream. Love your show. Thanks, man. Jason, this is a special edition, and we're flying to Chernobyl, the zone where I actually went this September. So, by the way, guys, thank you so much once again. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much for sending the stars today, and these stars will go towards the charity. So, as you see, we have the Second Front Ukraine logo. So this is the organization that is going to be sending humanitarian aid to Ukraine. So all of the stars that you sent today to the stream, I'm going to be sending directly to these guys. So are these flights off Google Maps? What do you mean? Well, the Google Maps is there. I'm using 4flight. this Overflight is the aviation app, and I already preset my flight plan over here, so you could kind of see it, and that's exactly what we're doing. And first thing, do we get to meet Anya? Well, hopefully, let's see. But you know what we're gonna see today? We're gonna see something that does not exist anymore, and that is the Rasoha field. So this is where the contaminated vehicles were stored until they were cut into pieces and then transported out. So there's 2 vehicle graveyards in Chernobyl. So during the tour, they did not allow us to visit any one of them. So will the alarms go off in the simulator if we go fly below 500 feet? I don't know. I think it just tells you 500 feet. Oleg, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for sending stars. Appreciate it, man.
530 stars.
Oleg, thank you so much. All this 530, that's a lot, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, the stars will go towards charity. So appreciate you supporting the charity, supporting a great cause today. And it is the humanitarian aid to Ukraine. And once again, thanks for Second Front, Ukraine, for doing this, you know, for organizing this fund. These are just Ukrainians that live in Toronto, and they've organized the fund. Today they're doing a concert, and all of the Ukrainians are united here in Canada, and they're helping their comrades and brothers and sisters, you know, in Ukraine in this difficult time. So truly appreciate you guys for donating today. And I'm gonna tell you all about my trip to Chernobyl, you know. So here we are. Here's Dityatki right here on the right hand side. So that's the village of Dityatki, and we are gonna just fly along the roads. So this is the road that we took when we drove there, and that's the road. And we're gonna go through that checkpoint right now. So I'm just checking with my map. Yes, of course I did. Justin says, you know, the Call of Duty mission on Chernobyl, hella scary. Yeah, 50,000 people used to live there. Now it's a ghost town. So I actually been to Pripyat, exact same city, almost that night, and it was scary, man. It was surreal. So I kind of remember that mission too. But you know, Chernobyl itself, like the Pripyat itself, is scary. It was a scary experience, to be honest. Seeing the ghost town, it was really scary. So the Dityatki checkpoint is straight ahead. So this is once again the entrance point to Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, and it looks like this. There's I took some pictures with dogs too, so that's how the entrance looks like. So it's obviously gated, and there's some dogs there. Okay, did you explore the basement in the hospital? Absolutely not, man. No. That is that. Oh, there we go. We have Alex flying. Awesome. Look at that. Alex is flying with us. Nice. I think that's Alex, right? Is that you, Alex? Okay, so the basement in the hospital is the most radioactive place in Pripyat. So absolutely not. Our tour guide was like, I'm not even going to let you near the hospital, okay? So no. So what's interesting about the hospital is that this is where they took all of the firefighters right after the accident, right after they extinguished the fire. They took them there, and then in the basement of the hospital, their clothes, they just threw the clothes, and the clothes are so radioactive. I think it's around 2 to 3 roentgens per hour. That is a lethal. Like if you stay there for a couple of hours, that's a lethal dose. So of course, we did not go into the basement, but I did see the Claw of Death, the famous Claw of Death. Leonid, thanks a lot for the like. Mitri, thanks a lot for the like. So I did see the famous Claw of Death, and I'll talk about it once we get to Pripyat. So there it is. This is Dityatki. This is the entrance to the zone. Once again, that's how it looks like. That's the picture I took when we were there. So that's how you enter to the zone, and as soon as you pass this checkpoint, of course it's not really done that well here in the sim, but you know, but once you pass there, we're now just entered the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go, and we're gonna visit the first big city there, which is the Chernobyl city of Chernobyl. More like a town of Chernobyl. It's not really that. Yeah, it's only 500 people there, so lots of abandoned buildings, but people still live there. So that's the first city, and this is where I stayed in a hotel. So I stayed in a hotel there. Hey, Dmitry says, nice, awesome. So by the way, guys, Randy says, stop sending me videos. I did see. Randy's not happy today again. All right, so Justin says you can fly alongside of you. Yes, of course you can. So you can and join the Eastern server, and I have multiplayer open. So if you guys want to fly along, please do, and just get the scenery as well, so that you could enjoy these landmarks. So okay, where's the elephant's foot located? Yes, exactly. So it is melted. It is inside the reactor. Absolutely, Tommy, you know it. So the reactor, it's the reactor core. Basically, all of the thorium and the fuel, right? So plutonium and all of the fuel that melted down. It formed a big, you know, piece. It's called elephant's foot. So it kind of looks like an elephant's foot. I can actually show you how it looks like. So you can never see it. It is so radioactive that you cannot even. So there's few scientists that went there and saw it. So I'm going to show it to you. So there's how the elephant's foot looks like. It's like a molten lava. So there are a few scientists that went there and saw it. I don't know what happened to them, to be honest, because it's not a good thing to do. They say solid boar steaks better than radioactive. Yeah, actually. So you'll be surprised. I went and ate in the restaurant in nuclear power plants. So they have a restaurant there where liquidators and and regular workers go eat there, and we ate the food there. And of course you go through a checkpoint before getting inside. But yeah, we ate borscht and we ate some nice Ukrainian food there, and it was relatively safe. Well, it was actually safe because I did measure it, measure the radiation at all the times. So I carried my Geiger counter with me. Here I am 9000 that measures alpha, beta, and thorium. Yeah, thorium, excuse the spelling. Exactly. So yeah, you won't be able to see the elephant's foot. However, 30 years ago, well, actually no, after 30 years, you're now able to see the Unit 4 control zone. Sorry, not control room. So this is where the accident happened. So it is possible to see it, but that's something I decided not to do because it is radioactive there, and they give you the respirator, they give you the safety equipment, but yeah. No wonder your hair looks thicker. Chernobyl works better than Hurricane. Yeah, exactly. Well, once again, honestly, it is overrated. There is not much radiation there, and well, there is, but assuming that you're gonna follow the safety procedures, assuming that you're not gonna, eat the apples or anything like that off the ground, you're not gonna roll on the ground, it is actually relatively safe. So anyone can visit, although these days this might not be possible for a very long time. You know why? But on the regular times, you can actually visit it without a problem. Up to 5 days, you can stay there up to 5 days. Jesus, Manuel, Mantilla, thanks a lot for like. Samuel, thanks a lot for like. Once again, guys, thank you so much for sending stars today. All stars go towards the charity. Second Front Ukraine, they are the charity, my friends that I know personally. They're the ones that supply humanitarian aid to Ukraine based on the current situation. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the town of Chernobyl. I'm going to give you like a bit of a passenger view over here on the right-hand side. So this is the town of Chernobyl. We're going to do a bit of an orbit around it. So there's the river of Pripyat right here. So Pripyat is also called, there's also a river that's called Pripyat, not only the town. So there is, why are those tree lines cut out? Is because of the electrical lines are there. So you'll see the trees cut out in a perfect lines. That's where the power lines are. So yeah, that's the town of Chernobyl. So our hotel, I'm not exactly sure where it was. I think it was probably over here. And then, so I was kind of questioned by the Ukrainian sort of KGB, it's called SBU. So because we did some drone footage there, they took all of my video cards. Oh, sorry, the storage cards, the SD cards, and then they looked into the footage, making sure that I did not take any videos of, you know, something that I was not supposed to. So that was a cool part, I think. So just let me show you a couple of pictures of Chernobyl itself. It's a regular town, and here it is. I'm standing like right in front of it, in front of the sign that says Chernobyl. So they got not Marriott. It's the hotel called Dityatki. So it's a very old Soviet Russian hotel. Let me show you how the hotel looks like. Okay, so by the way, this is me measuring radiation in Chernobyl. As you can see, it's only 15 microrankeins per hour. Only 15. So nothing much. Like it's 18 is like 15 to 18. That's less than New York. New York's probably 19. And here is okay. Let me show you more Chernobyl here. The town of Chernobyl itself. Yep, that's the drone picture of that I took. So you can actually see. Okay, so let's do the same so we can compare. So let's turn, and then we're gonna compare. I'm gonna go to that exact spot. See if I can match the altitude. Let's see. I think I remember where that spot is. So we're gonna go a bit lower than that. So let's descend. Oh, Rusty, thank you so much, man. Thanks a lot. Rusty says, hey, everyone, let's go. Let's hit that follow, share button. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for the likes. John, Marchand, Larson, Barry, Rusty, and everyone else. Thanks a lot, guys. So, the drone picture that I took was roughly from over here. And you can see in the sarcophagus, you can see the reactor in the distance. And that's how picture looked like. There you go. See the reactor in the distance? And these are these buildings over here. So you can kind of see the, you know, the cooling pond on the right hand side. So that's the picture. Yeah. So Wilder, hello. How you doing? So thanks, Rusty. So yeah, the Russian army stirred up the dust. They say it's not safe there right now. It won't be for a while to come. Yeah. Exactly. So Russian army did a lot of damage to Chernobyl when suicide mission. Absolutely, 100%. So they did kick off a lot of dust. So what's another interesting fact about Chernobyl here is that all of the pipes, so all of the gas pipes and all of the communications, city communications, are actually not underground. They're above the ground. So you can see it in the picture over here. Notice how the pipes. Notice how all the pipes are above the ground. This is because they don't want to dig anything there. Because if you dig the soil, then you become contaminated. You fly lower, so it's not you can see. You can see. Yeah, that's right. We'll do low points. Of course, Chernobyl city itself is not the most interesting site, but we're gonna fly to. We're gonna go see the power plant next. But yeah, so this is the town of Chernobyl right here. So this is it. This is how it looks like on the simulator. And there's also inside the city, there's also an alley of the cities that got affected. So you can see there's this alley. And I believe this alley is somewhere here. I don't know if I'll be able to find it right now because it's not really high resolution. But so notice all the names. So these are all the names of the towns and villages that got affected, that got buried. Yeah, it is a big city, and there's people that live there. Awesome, Barry. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in, Barry. You are now part of the special flight, man. We're flying to Chernobyl zone, and I'm telling everyone what I did there when I was there for 2 days. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering what the hotel looks like, it looks like this. So the hotel Dityatki, the one that we stayed in, looks like this. It's like an old Soviet Union hotel. So that's how a hotel looks like. It's very interesting. And then there's the bar over here, and then you can see that alcohol is released. I don't know if you can see the writing, but it says alcohol released from 19 to 2100. So exactly from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. It's only 2 hours you can drink alcohol in Chernobyl zone. The simulator let you fly over the White House. And yes, exactly. You can fly over anything. We even flew over the Area 51. We flew in North Korea as well. Barry says, that's awesome. I love that you're connecting flights to real life pictures. Oh yeah, exactly. All right, Wilder, thank you so much for following the stream, and I appreciate hitting that follow button. And don't go away. We're now entering the 5-kilometer zone. And we're gonna go see the power plant, the famous nuclear power plant, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. So the first thing we're gonna go see is the checkpoint of Lviv. So I'm gonna see where it is here. I think I did point out that it is here. And I'll tell you. Oh yeah, we just flew it. So I'll tell you a story about it. So basically, we went to this checkpoint over here, and this is the 5-kilometer zone checkpoint. So first you go through that Dityatki checkpoint when they check everything, and then to enter the 5-kilometer zone, you have to go through the checkpoint called Lviv. So every time you go through that checkpoint, they check the documents. They make sure that you're legit, you know, because there's a lot of illegal tourists in here, so they need to check something. And my tour guide told me, do not take videos of nuclear power plant, do not take photos of it, and like, you know, only take photos in the regular, you know, zones. And of course, me being me, I still took a lot of pictures, even though I was not supposed to. You know, I guess it's not really that much of a secret, right? So we picked up cops on the way. So apparently, so these guys, so we picked them up, and they said, "Oh, can you drive us to the train station?" We said, "Yeah, sure." So, and these guys are like, "Do you mind?" We're like, "No, absolutely not." So we drove them to the okay. So checkpoint is somewhere here. So we drove them to the station, and I'll show you that train station. This is where they depart. And then along the way, because they were late for their train, they were just so focused on it, and they did not care when I was taking pictures. So I was just taking pictures and videos along the way, and did not even care. And only after we dropped them off, my tour guide was like, "Dude, do you know who that was? These were cops, man. They could have gave you like you could have kicked us out, you know." And then I'm like, "Oh shoot." But anyways, I did manage to take a few photos of places that I was not really supposed to take photos of, and I'll show it to you in a second. Okay, so Darsal, right? Put some humans to help others. Okay, so what did Darsal say? I work in radiology. Oh, nice. Okay, nice. Work in radiology. Awesome. So Darsal, then you know about the gamma, alpha, and beta particles. Are you flying a chopper? Absolutely. We're flying this helicopter. This is the National Guard of Ukraine. Border Guard, actually. This is Державна прикордонна служба України. So this is a helicopter with the Ukrainian flag, of course. And we are now entering the nuclear power plant itself. So over here, this is a big cooling pond. Now on the simulator, it looks like there's a lot of water. Now it's actually dried out, pretty much dried out, because it is decommissioned. So they're drying it out now. And first, what you'll see is the construction of Unit 5. So this Unit 5 was never complete, and then the cooling tower of Unit 5. So there's a Unit 5 that was never complete, and then of course the Unit 4 that will oversee the actual Unit 4 that where the disaster happened. But now we're gonna overfly a very interesting spot, and I'll tell you a few things about it as well. So right now we're overflying the village of Kapachi. So this village is buried basically under the ground because it got affected. This is where the blast radius was. So here it is. Here's the nuclear power plant itself, and this village got severely affected. So there is still a lot of buildings are somewhat in an okay state, but all of the village houses were actually buried under the ground, unfortunately. So there is also, and I'm not going to show you all the pictures because I will tell you all about it in the coming video series. But we went to an interesting laboratory that's located right to the right of the cooling tower. So this was the laboratory that they used to study the fish in a pond. So they studied the effects of radiation. So you can actually go and see that laboratory. Bradley, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for the stars. Appreciate it. Sending the 50. So all stars today will be donated to Second Front Ukraine, the charity out here in Toronto, by Ukrainians. So all of the stars will go towards humanitarian aid. Thank you so much, Bradley. You're the best. So do you know what time frame the map is from? So this particular one, the scenery itself, this is probably 2 years ago. That's 2 years ago. So it's obviously not 100% up to date. But yeah. So over here, this is the cooling ponds, of course, and then this is the cooling reservoir. So all that water is there. So on the right-hand side, you see the unfinished Unit 5. So this is where reactor 5 and 6. They were not finished. They froze the construction, and I'm gonna talk about it in just a second, and I'll tell you another cool thing. I actually was there. I was there in that Unit 5 and 6, and you'll see it in the video later on once I publish it. But so you can see the photo of that spot over here, the one that we're about to enter.
100 feet.
Okay, I'm just gonna concentrate on flying as well as finding that photo. So here it is. So I took that photo roughly up around here, this photo. So standing there in front of the sarcophagus, you know, now the shelter, the safe confinement. So this is the new safe confinement. So of course, you know, the famous spot over here. Abdelkazer, what do you mean? Alright, Darsal, thank you so much for the 100, man. Thank you so much for sending all stars to the charity. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Nice photo. To lighten the mood, as a scuba diver, I can't believe I watched the video of a young man that put a fish tank pole over his head. Oh yeah, you know that video, Blaine? It's from Super Sus. Yeah, these guys are insane. Okay, so what they're doing is something that you don't want to do in Chernobyl zone. So absolutely not. So here it is. This is the nuclear power plant itself, and this is the Unit 5 and 6. So here's the picture. Look at that. Boom. This is how the Unit 5 and 6 looks like. This is the control. This is the construction zone of Unit 5 and 6. Bradley, thanks a lot for the 50s. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. So Justin's asking, can you explain what radiation? Can you explain how animals were mutated by radiation? Actually, they weren't. So maybe the cows, right? So we saw pictures of mutated cows and so on, but animals are okay. I don't think they have enough time to get mutated. They actually die of either starvation or from you know, other animals kind of eating them, right? So that's what happens. But you can see there's a lot of dogs. There's actually another foundation that's called Chernobyl Dogs. Let me show you. Actually, I do have a couple of pictures of the dogs before I. So we did see a lot of animals. So here's some of the pictures of the dogs that are there. So there it is. This is the dog that was in the town of Chernobyl. And there's another dog. So you can see they look healthy. They look very healthy. It's best not to pet the dogs that are close to the plant. So you can pet the ones that are in Chernobyl because they're not contaminated, but you don't want to pet the dogs that are actually near the plant. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about this this place right here. So this was Unit 5 and 6. So this was supposed to be a continuation. So there are 4 units that existed that were in operation. And this was 5 and 6, so they started constructing it. And when disaster happened, do you see this little, you see those rusty metal plates? So after the accident in 1986, they decided to continue the construction. So they put all these plates to shield this construction site from radiation because it was not contaminated that much. So, and then after some time, they decided not to continue with the construction because they realized, yeah, probably not a good idea to build a couple of more units of the power plants. So you know the video that you saw there with Super Sus, the guy that was putting the fish tank on his head, that actually happened inside this place in the basement. So there's a whole bunch of cranes, and I'm going to show you how this place looks like. And I'll tell you a real interesting fact. The fact that I was actually there. The tour guide took us there for about 10 minutes. So we actually did see some cool things, and let me just quickly show you. So there it is. We went really close to it. So that's the Unit 5 and 6. So we went really close. Yeah, they look healthy, right? Yeah, they do. Exactly. And then here's the inside of 5 and 6. This is the inside of the unfinished reactor 5 and 6. And of course the famous illegal photo, because you're not really supposed to be there, but we went there and I took that photo. Because it's like hazardous, but we still did. Anyways, all right. So now we're gonna go and see the plant itself. Now, before going into around the plant, we actually went for lunch, and this is what's called the Idalnia. So that was the restaurant. So it looks like this over here. So this is where all of the staff, they eat there, and I believe it's located here. You can actually just take a look at the map. Yeah, there it is. There it is. It's over here. Just looking at the map right away. Okay, so there it is. There's the Prometheus statue. And we had lunch in one of those buildings. And basically the lunch was really good. So of course you go through the radiation check. So you go through these devices, they check for your radiation. You go through them and you kind of put your hands on them, and they check your whole body for contamination. And that's how it looks. This is how they feed you there. They have some nice a la carte, you know, and just kind of, you know, those lovely ladies would serve you borscht. There you go. So there's Ukrainian borscht, and we had lunch there. So that was the cool part. Now we're gonna go directly and see the power plant itself, the sarcophagus. And before we do that, I'm just gonna quickly show you get the photos ready for it. I don't really have that many over here, but anyways, yeah, I'll show you the photos later. All right, so there it is. There's the power plant itself. So this is Unit 4, Unit 3 and 4. So the first units that were built, so it's called, there was the first phase of the power plant over here, so Unit 1 and 2. So these are the buildings of Unit 1 and 2, and the reactors. Over here, that's 1 and that's 2. And there's the cooling tower over here. So this is 1, reactor number 1, and reactor number 2. Inside the power plant itself, if you ever want to take a tour there, oh, see, then Anastasia says lunch was good. Anastasia, you know it. And inside there, if you ever want to take a tour, it's called the Golden Corridor. So there's the corridor. That's the reason why it's called golden, is because it's the walls kind of look golden. So the corridor goes from Unit 1 to all the way to Unit 4. So you can take a look, and you can actually go there and explore it. And so now they actually had tours there up until the famous event that happened. Very interesting, informative. Thank you for sharing. Oh, for sure, Darsel. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for sending stars. I truly appreciate all the stars that you sent today. You guys are fantastic, incredible. I'm so proud of you. We are sending all of those stars to Second Front, Ukraine. So we are not actually collecting stars ourselves. We're going to be sending all of the stars. So all the stars that you sent will be sent directly to the charity. So thank you so much for donation, for your generous donations. And absolutely, I'll try to make it as informative as possible. So there it is. So this is unit number 3, and of course this is called a safe confinement. This is called Navarka. This is the ark that they built on top of the old sarcophagus. So sarcophagus is what covered the explosion itself. Exploded Unit 4. And this safe confinement was built recently because the old sarcophagus was actually way too old. It only had shelf life of 30 years. So no, this is new. So they put the new one. So they built the ark, and then they built it over here, and then they kind of wheeled it in on rails. So it covered it. Val, thank you so much. Val says, thank you for supporting Ukraine. Slava Ukraini. Yes, thanks, man. Thank you so much. For sure, glory to Ukraine, and thanks a lot for your support. And all of the money that you donate today will go to charity. Absolutely. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for the 50. All right, so this is how the safe confinement looks like, and I'm gonna show you just a couple of photos of how they built it. just so that you'll see. It's very interesting. It's a really cool construction, as well as the original sarcophagus. Because imagine building something like this when you had such high levels of radiation. And this is how it was built. So that new safe confinement, I'm going to show it to you. There you go. So that's how it was built. So of course they put it on huge cranes, and you know this was huge. Let's see if I don't know why I can't go to the full screen on this. This is so stupid. Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much how it looked like, right? And how they built it. And this is what the old sarcophagus looks like. That was there. So they removed the old VT2 cooling tower, and then they added a new one so that you could wheel that in. Yeah, Blaine says I watched the whole documentary just on that. Oh, perfect. There you go. This one is rated for 100 years. Absolutely, Tommy. You got it. You got it. Trump didn't say it's huge. Yeah, but it's huge. So yeah, it is humongous. And of course, I took photos near it as well. And I'm gonna quickly just search for some photos. I did not add all of them, so 1 second. Just bear with me. There it is. Alex is flying with us today. Nice. You guys can also fly with us too. I need to quickly just show you. There it is. There's me standing in front of it. Of course, you know, and I'll show you where it is, where I'm standing at. Why is the red stack? The red stack is there for ventilation, so they still need the ventilation. So they actually put this new one. So this is a new stack. The old stack they had to remove. So Denny, thanks a lot for the like. They removed the old stack. Chernobyl concealment dome tours. Yeah. So you can actually go inside this dome if you'd like, but that's something that I did not want to do, to be honest. So let's see. This is how the dome looks like, and where you can take pictures. You can come really close to it. So this is where you can actually officially take photos. So of course, you know, you're not allowed to take photos and videos outside of the zone here, but I still did. Still did. So still lots of Soviet Union air bunkers that are fully equipped and electrified. Oh, for sure. But I don't think, not in the zone though. So this is the famous spot where everyone takes pictures. Benjamin, wow, thank you so much for becoming a monthly supporter. Thank you so much, Benjamin. I truly appreciate becoming VIP monthly supporter. Wow, look at that. We have a new VIP monthly supporter. Awesome, Benjamin, great timing. You will be in our featured in our Chernobyl videos, the series that are coming up. So thanks a lot for becoming VIP supporter. And of course, all stars that you guys sent today will be donated. All of the stars. So there it is. Once again, this is the spot where I took this photo. So you may ask, like, what's the levels of radiation in around it? So, great question. Only 106 microrangens per hour. Only 106. So this is only about what, 4 times normal. And if you're thinking that, you know, 50 is the highest, it's only twice normal. If you think 50 is normal. I'm good with flight streaming tourists, but thanks. Yeah, exactly. So I risked the life for you guys to go there, because you know. For those of you guys that have been with me for a long time, remember how I said that I'm going to go there and I'll do this for you? And I actually did. You know, so Benjamin says, been a meaning to do it for a while. Love your flight. Glad I could do it, man. Keep flying. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot for support. And of course, you know, I'll be releasing the video soon. So yeah, the levels of radiation right near Unit 4 aren't that big. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna see, and this is called the town of Pripyat, the city of Pripyat actually. It's the ghost town, and we're gonna go see the first landmark. It's the Hotel Policia. It's one of the biggest hotels. Oh, by the way, if you're thinking this is Koyat, this is this is where they store spent fuel and all of the waste. So this is nuclear waste storage facility, as well as this one over here. That's Pripyat 1 and Pripyat 2. So, how much time did you get to spend on the ground? I went there for 2 days. I was there for 2 days. It was part of the 2-day tour. Tommy says, been cleaned and sanitized so many times, all the personnel have to work there. Yeah, exactly. So, well, as long as you don't touch anything in there, right? Like when you go to abandoned buildings, as long as you don't eat anything off the ground, you'll be fine. You'll be totally fine. It's absolutely safe to go there. The levels of radiation are very low, unless you go into the hotspots, and you know what the hotspots are. Anyways, but before we go, I wanted to also show you where the red forest is, you know, the famous red forest. And the red forest is over here. And you will see on my videos that as we were driving past the red forest, on this road over here, on the way from Pripyat over here, this road, as we were driving, my dosimeter was screaming. It was screaming basically. Because of the, like with the closed doors, we went to up to 2,000 microrentgens per hour pure gamma radiation. So it was fairly crazy. So this is the road over here. This road has no speed limits. This road over here. So this is where the Pripyat sign is. And I'll show you where the Pripyat sign is. And this road over here has no speed limits. And the famous Pripyat sign as well. I'll show you that one too. I think the scenery has, there you go, it actually has it. Perfect. Go check that famous sign. It's this sign over here that says Pripyat. So this is the stela of the city, and there it is. We can actually go really close to it, and I'll show you where the red forest is. Blaine says, I heard there's pretty elaborate underground labyrinth in Mariupol as well as other towns. Oh yeah, like the old Soviet Union tunnels for sure. So there it is. There's the stela of Pripyat. This is it right here. We're gonna probably land on it, so I'll talk a little bit about this place. This is where lots of tourists kind of take pictures, but the red forest is on the left. Watch for power lines. Oh, for sure. 100% Eric, you got it. We're good. We're good, actually. So we'll just land over here. Never mind my sloppy flying. I think I did fine. But there it is. There's the famous Pripyat stela. It looks like this. So first, to the left of it, you will see radiation sign, and it will say red forest. So Rudy Lis, that means the red forest. So right to the left, there's the railroad, and then the red forest is on the left. So it starts there. Yes, it is for sure. Red forest is around, well, counts per minute. Yeah. So I basically calculated about 2,000 microrentgens per hour in the red forest. So let's see if I have a video of it. I think I did here. But anyways, you'll see it on my video. I actually did take videos of it, and you'll see it on my videos. When I counted, but yes. So go. Okay, oh, you hard to hear me? Okay, perfect. Good to know. Go back to the cockpit. It's hard to hear you over the props. Roger. Okay, got it. I'll decrease the volume when we're gonna go inside. It's good to know. Okay, awesome. So this is the road. So when you go there, when you go through this road, you basically close all doors. Well, obviously doors are closed, but you close all windows, and then you drive as fast as possible, because over here the radiation levels go up significantly high. But this is a gamma rays, right? So this is the only road over here that has no speed limits in the zone, so you can go as fast as you can, and you basically just drive past it, and red forest is on the red-hand side. And the reason it's called red forest is because it turned red when disaster happened. So while it did affect Belarus mostly, a lot of the contamination, a lot of those particles from the reactor flew that way, right? So it flew this way, so it affected this whole forest over here, forest area, and that's what's called red forest. So in Ukrainian it's Rudy Lis. Rudy Lis, that's what it is. Okay, so now we're flying to the city of Pripyat. So we're gonna go and go into the checkpoints, the first checkpoints that we go through in order to enter the city, and I'll show you the very interesting landmark. And you know, if you saw the HBO series called Bridge of Death, and what's interesting about this bridge is that it's actually a myth. So it's actually not documented that people went there during the accident. So our tour guide told us that while it is, you know, it is mentioned in the book, right, and it is mentioned in the series, this bridge right here, so this Bridge of Death, it's actually, apparently it's actually a myth. So the citizens, so according to this myth, the citizens went and watched the explosions on this bridge because it apparently has a good view over here, but it looks like it was a myth. And it is mentioned in a show as well. So this bridge over here, because you do have a really good view of it, of the Unit 4. So this was that bridge, the Bridge of Death. Okay, so now we're gonna go into the entrance of Pripyat. So this is where main checkpoint for city of Pripyat is. So they do check, also do the check all the documents when you enter the ghost town of Pripyat. So this is the town of Pripyat that was evacuated 2 days after the explosion, and this is the city that is a ghost town, and it's still, well, it's already starting to degrade beyond, you know, safety levels. So that's why officially you're not really supposed to enter any of the buildings. We still did, but yeah. So here is the entrance, and I'm going to just land here real quick, and I'm going to show you a couple of pictures, and then we're going to go see those places. I'll show you the pictures first, then I'll explain where all those things are. So we'll just land here real quick, and then I'll show you how this place looks like from the pictures that I took. Perfect, there it is. So the checkpoint. So the checkpoint actually looks like this. 1 second. This is how this checkpoint looks like. So of course there's a guard over here, and you can see the sign. So this is that building over there on the right. Mark, thank you so much. Mark Circle, thank you so much for sending 147 stars. Appreciate it. Once again, guys, all stars will be donated to Ukrainian charity for, you know, for all the humanitarian aid due to the current situation, because what we're seeing right now is actually not possible to do anymore. So I was one of the lucky people to go there, and only half a year later, Ukraine got invaded by Russian forces. So unfortunately, this tour is not possible for a very long time. Oh, there we go. There's Alex over here. Alex just landed with us. So there are a few security points. So this one is one of them, and I'll show you where they all are. So great question, and please ask me questions, Justin. I love this question. Okay, so the first checkpoint, we did see it, right? There was Dityatki. So Dityatki is over here. That's where the main. Oh, there we go. So that's where the main entrance, right? So that's the point of Dityatki. As soon as you enter, you go through the town of Chernobyl, and then there's another checkpoint that's called Lviv. So there it is. There's the Lviv checkpoint over here. There's another checkpoint. So this checkpoint is to enter the 5-kilometer zone over here. And another checkpoint is obviously where we are right now, to enter the ghost town of Pripyat right here. So this is Pripyat checkpoint, city checkpoint, in order to enter the city. And of course, you know, for all the illegal stalkers, for all the people that are there, you know, illegally, they can enter from any direction, and there's no one that's gonna stop them, right? Mostly they just enter from here, the direct waypoint. They kind of go bypass the red forest because, you know, they don't want to end up here because it's highly contaminated. This area is extremely contaminated, so they kind of go around it and they enter it. And okay, so just quickly what we're gonna see in a city. So you may have seen this city, you know, and in a lot of things like videos and documented photos. Awesome, Michael. Thank you so much for 200 stars. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, so there's Jupiter Factory. So a very interesting thing about this factory is the fact that it was supposedly a factory that produced tape recorders. But as you know, Soviet Russia, nothing was the way it was seemed. So this factory actually produced electronics for military equipment. So that's what it was. Now, this city center over here, this is the most famous place. This is where everyone go, right? All of the tours go to this place. So of course you have the cultural palace. You have the complex. You have the department store. You have the hotel itself, Hotel Polesia. And then you have a whole bunch of Soviet Union-like buildings. There's the high school over here, children's clinic. So this city was very modern, and it was very new at that time. So it was actually the classy city for the time of almost the collapse of Soviet Union. So this was the most modern city ever, and it was a very young city, only a couple of years young. Well, I think it was maybe 10 years, because it was all servicing the power plant. So they built it specifically to service the power plant. So we're gonna go through some of these checkpoints. Sorry, not the checkpoints, but the places that I mentioned. Jeez. Get it out. Okay, so just want to quickly show you a couple of photos from there. Luxury living, yeah, absolutely. So a couple of photos. What you will see is the famous Ferris wheel. So this is the Ferris wheel that was used. Actually, it was never launched. So after the explosion, after this Eric, how you doing, Eric? Thanks a lot for the like. We're flying in Chernobyl today in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this Ferris wheel was never launched. It was supposed to be launched for May 1st, and of course the accident happened on April 26th. So in terms of the radiation levels were actually very, very elevated. Now the reason is because on this place right here, the helicopters would land and they would just wash them, right? So all of that water, the radioactive water, would just float down to the sewers, and that's why it is contaminated. Now, the interesting thing is I managed to completely like redline my Geiger counter. So my Geiger counter went to its maximum, up to 125,000 microroentgens, just at one spot. So of course, if you're outside, if you're not touching it, if you just measure it and you walk away, nothing's gonna happen. Okay, your cuticles to look off, and I think your hand is bigger. You sure that's your pick? Yeah, that's my pick. Which one are you referring to? This one? Yeah, that's my that is me. So if you want me to, okay, I don't know if do I have a picture of myself here, but I guess, yeah, there's me over here. To measure the claw, yes. I did go and measure the claw, absolutely. So there it is. This is the claw. So this is the most radioactive place in Pripyat. Well, it's actually, I think it's the most radioactive one that's outside, besides the elephant foot, of course. So this claw itself is called Claw of Death. It measures about 2 roentgens per hour if you go at the very bottom. Prince, no, you did not miss the flight. We're still flying. I'm just showing the pictures of the zone, so of what we're gonna see. And there's that hotel, and you could see how it looked. It looked like this. Okay, this is not my hand. This is the tour guide's hand, by the way. This is not mine. But he had this photo of what the hotel looked like during Soviet Union times. And no, Prince, you did not miss anything. We're still flying. Damien, Ryan, Wagner, thanks, Jonathan. Thanks a lot for the likes, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. So this is the cultural center of Enigmatic, so you can see how it looks. And then, yeah, there's quite a few things. I will talk about them in an upcoming video. But anyways, let's go flying. Debatable, but you're being a good god for what's available. So what's up with the ride along? Are you using this dream to conclude your visit? We've been waiting on them for months. Yeah. So the video is coming because of what's happening in Ukraine. That's the reason I wasn't publishing them, right? You saw the flight already. I hope you did. That was talk to text. Okay. Top of the ride along. Yeah. So I hope, Blaine, I hope you saw the video that, okay, Alex, we're taking off now. I hope you saw the video of us flying into the zone. So that's kind of prequel to that. And videos are coming. They're really hard to edit because I had to change the narrative completely, right? Because of what's happening in Ukraine, right? So, and I've been extremely busy. There's over 200 gigabytes of footage. Hey Eric, how you doing? We're flying in Chernobyl. Virtually good to see you, man. So this is the ghost town of Pripyat. And we're gonna go into the center, so you'll see that hotel that I was talking about, and the cultural center. So this scenery is made by one of the Ukrainian developers. So really cool how he made that. Very realistic. Look at that. So as we're getting in here, that's the Enigmatic, and this is the Hotel Policia. There it is. 100 feet, and we'll go see the Ferris wheel in a bit. So we'll just quickly land over here, and I'll just show you around. And they even have the graffiti in here. This is awesome. So even the graffiti's in here. Really cool scenery. Once again, custom scenery by a Ukrainian developer. There we go. Get your Geiger counters ready. There it is. There's that hotel. Once again, I'm going to show it to you. That's how it looks like in real life over here. And that's how we're seeing it on the simulator. And of course, they even have this graffiti. I think I have that graffiti. There's this graffiti all over the city. So they look like this. So you could see it in the distance. That's the graffiti. All right. So let's fly around the town, the abandoned city of Pripyat, and let's talk more. Feel free to ask me more questions. Unfortunately, most of those buildings are falling into themselves. Yep, exactly. That's why you can't really enter them, but we still did. So I'll show you. Every kid wants the cotton canteen, right? The Ferris wheel. I mean, supposed to spend and design for the person in front of you have their off be displaced away from the places of entry. Yeah. I think you're doing that text-to-speech again. What was the name of the documentary that we talked about? So there's HBO series. So HBO series is more like it's made by Netflix. So sorry, not Netflix. It's made by HBO. So basically, it's about this disaster itself. Really good one to see. And then there's also a movie called Inseparable Life, which I think is the best. It was spinning during which year? Blaine, the Ferris wheel never got to. It was only tested, but it never got to run because they were about to release it. They were about to make it work. But then they never got it to run. Okay, so we got on top of one of these buildings, and I'll show you the pictures. 1 second. I think it was this one, this apartment building. So we're gonna have to guess. I'm gonna see which one. So based on the picture, we'll determine that. We'll determine it based on the picture. So there it is. You can see me over here. And you can see you basically see the plant itself, right? There it is. So I think it was probably the last one, this last building, I believe. Because I think you can see, so that's what you can see from the building itself. So I believe this might have been this one. Might have been this one. So we got onto a roof and we saw it. And the interesting thing is, roof is actually, it's actually quite radioactive. So I managed to measure it a bit. So it was 117 microrankins per hour. So it was not dangerous, but it was, you know, you don't really want to lie down and sleep on top of it. Oh man, Plane says, okay, stop. I don't want to cry. Like, I like Ferris wheels. Aw, sorry, dude. Was this the city which mostly plant workers lived? Absolutely, this city of Pripyat, where all of the workers lived, that serviced the plant, and of course serviced the city itself, as well as the Jupiter factory. So I'll show you the Jupiter factory, and now let's go ahead and take a look at the Ferris wheel. So this is the famous Ferris wheel that never got to run. Yeah, this is the famous Ferris wheel over here. And you'll see the bumper cars on your left side. So there's bumper cars over here. So of course, you know, it does still look really yellow, just like it looks here. So I think the quality of the paint was pretty good. So it is still yellow in the city. But it is rusty, so it never actually got to run, unfortunately. There are a couple of YouTube videos where someone actually got to spin it a bit, and then yeah, there's the bumper cars over here. There's a lot of radioactivity around here. You don't really want to go inside there, but I did manage to measure the radiation in there too, and I'll show you. Show it to you in a second. Just gotta find photos I took from that place. Wait. Just gotta still fly the helicopter while I'm like, okay, so I'm still using the pedals. So there it is. There's the Ferris wheel, the bumper cars. I think that was the other day. 1 second. There's Alex flying with us. Oh my goodness, did I just lose it? No, I didn't. Perfect. Please bear with me. I'm just trying to find the Ferris wheel photos. It's really interesting. There it is. There's the one. That's the one I took. And of course I took several. There it is again. And then I think I had the bumper cars somewhere. Just trying to find this. Just way too many photos. Yeah, there it is. There it is up close. This Ferris wheel again. This is the most like famous landmark of Pripyat. Blend says theories from kids will cycle a bunch of microwaves in the other plant to side magnets that just been for backyard gathering. Yeah, maybe. That device you have just literally measures the air particles which is ground level. Never seen one. Why ask? Okay, so the device that I had is called Geiger counter. It measures the counts per minute as well as the all of the ionized particles that hit it. So it measures the gamma, alpha, and beta radiation. So you'll know how much ionizing radiation you have around you. So that was the... Yes, there we go. Tommy, you got it. Inseparable. Best movie. Guys, check out what Tommy sent. This is the best. If you really want to see real story about Chernobyl, which was done very nicely, the Inseparable is really good. I think that movie is just number one for me. Number one for me. And once again, guys, thank you so much for all the star donations. All of your star donations will go towards the fund. So thank you so much for your generous donations. They'll go towards the fund to help the Ukrainians in such difficult times. You know, and even those that worked in the zone can no longer work there because that was their bread and butter. They risk their lives every day. You know, driving us to see this, to see this piece of history. And what's interesting is that this is the only place, I believe, in the world now which is preserved, where time has stopped. 1986. 1986. You could see the logo of Soviet Union, you know, the hammer and sickle over here. And it is truly surreal feeling when you go to that city. It is extremely quiet, and it's extremely peaceful. It's terrifying experience, to be honest, when I was there. And little did I know, half a year later, because I've been there this September, that a lot of Ukrainian cities will actually turn into a similar, if not worse, situation with so many casualties, right? And I honestly thought this was the worst disaster, and just it kind of breaks my heart. Well, it breaks my heart to see what's happening in Ukraine today. So thank you so much, guys, for your, you know, for stars and everything. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, you know. Thank you so much for your support. Are you playing? You want me to leave chat? No, you can save it later. You can save it for later, but you have to watch that. Unless that becomes more interesting, I totally understand. But for sure, you guys gotta watch that movie. It's incredible. It's just incredible. I think it's the best movie about Chernobyl ever done. It will make you cry for sure. It will make you tear up. We call it separatist militias. In some places need to be ruled with an iron fist. Everyone needs to come together and roll with roll it with their fists. Oh yeah, 100%. All right, so right now what we're gonna see is the Jupiter factory. So this was the factory, kind of like a secret factory, where they supposedly made some tape recorders, but they actually didn't. They made electronics for military during the Soviet Union. And don't go away, guys. We're gonna go see something very special, right after this. I got to see it as well. It's called Duga. This is the secret Soviet Union base. We got to see it as well. So over here, this is the Jupiter factory. That's how that factory looks. So during the tour, we did not go there. Apparently that place is radioactive, so our tour guide has said, no, we're not going to go there, so we didn't. But we kind of saw it. I'm not sure whether the Claw of Death is somewhere here. I don't even know if it's modeled in here, but you know, you know it. For those of you who know what Claw of Death is, there you go. Yeah, I'll turn up the volume. So let's do one more pass, and then we'll fly to Duga, the secret Soviet Union antenna that was built to detect nuclear launches. There it is. Pass around the city. We'll do an external view. Put some music on. right, Conan, thank you so much for the 340 stars, man. These will go to charity. Says Conan says, found your stream channel about a week ago. I have enjoyed every one of them so far. Thank you so much, man. Thanks a lot for donating to charity. So today we are donating to charity. Let's observe the city from a passenger view. City is now a ghost town. As a reminder that, you know, we're actually we're quite terrible as human beings. In famous the Claw of Death, it's basically the most radioactive spot in Pripyat. I love orchestra, but it's not to where your undivided attention. It's just to show you how, you know, how grand this disaster was, and how much it affected. We're also going to overfly Bucha as on the way back, and we will also see the affected cities. I'm not gonna show you any pictures from Bucha or any of those towns. You may have seen it on the videos. Photos. Today is only about Chernobyl, but we're gonna overfly Hostomel and we're gonna overfly Bucha as well. There it is, Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Alright, don't go away, guys. We're flying to a secret spot right now. It is called Duga. It's a very interesting place. Flight ETA, yes, it is. And you will actually see it. And let me show you. I'll just need to make sure I change the heading. So this is the antenna over here in the distance. This was the most secret spot in Soviet Union. This is the huge antenna drawn around the right side of chopper. So this was used to detect nuclear launches from the United States. So this is how huge it is, guys. It is like this. Where'd you find that helicopter? This is from High Performance Group. So it's from High Performance Group. So this used to be a secret Soviet Union facility where no one was allowed to enter, and now it became a national monument. And here's the drone footage that I took. That's how massively large that antenna is. And of course we overflew it on a plane when we went to Chernobyl. So you can see that it's fairly close to the nuclear power plant because it needed all that electricity. And you can kind of, you don't see it yet, so we're going to decrease the power and then you'll see it. Yeah, it looks scary. Yeah, it is. It makes me think of Dover, England. Yeah. So, it was a great question. You took that picture with a drone. So apparently you can fly near Duga with a drone. And Blaine, I see that you haven't seen my flight to Chernobyl video. Do take a look at it at my page. We flew there with Plane Ukraine. We flew there and we did a low pass over it on a Cessna. So you can actually legally fly it around it. It used to be secret, and now you can legally fly over it. And you can even do a low flyby on the plane. So do take a look at that video that I have pinned on my page. Not sure if you've ever seen it, but you should check it, because it's actually the one that we did with Plane Ukraine. With Victor, he's the pilot from Ukraine. It looks something like Tesla would make his backyard when we had materials back then. Oh, it's the state-of-the-art, guys. It's state-of-the-art antenna. This Soviet Union spent so much money on it, and the funny thing is, it never got to launch because people got contaminated. So yeah, it's huge, and there's a military city around it. So there's apartments, and these used to be called the Pioneer Village, like Pioneer Village. Basically, that's what it's like a Boy Scout camp. That's what they called it, and no civilians knew about it. They didn't know what it was, so no one was allowed that were civilians. This was a top secret facility, and now it's a museum. You can actually see it. Justin says that was an awesome video to put together. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks a lot. The more videos are coming. Yeah, it's on YouTube as well. Yep. And the 5 mini-series about my trip to Chernobyl are coming as well. So I've captured a lot of it on the video. You'll see this radar really up close on the, on that video. So make sure you subscribe to YouTube channel. And you can do so like this. I think this should give you the YouTube link. So I think it should give you the YouTube link. There we go. So there's the YouTube link. What young Boy Scout wants to give his campsite position? No, exactly, right? Do you fly helicopters in real life? No, I don't. I don't. I fly the Diamond TE-40. So this is the facility. So this is the main control center over here, this building. And look how massive this antenna is. It is huge. Really, really massive. And the interesting about it is the radiation levels around it are very low. So I do have a photo of me taking the reading. So there it is. It was 18 microrentgens per hour. It is very low, so not really that much. Yeah, Duga idea was good. Sales well, Paka, but computers of the time were not powerful to analyze noise against real targets. Yeah, exactly, right? It was all based on the lamps. So it was all based on... Oh, look at that, we're going to catch the sunset. Yeah, it was all based on, like, simple transistors and lamps. So it did not have enough computing power. It's called hide and seek for a reason. Of course, you want to go find you. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so this used to detect the the launches, the sparks in ionosphere. So this was a receiver, and then there somewhere out there is an antenna that blasted the signal. So it blasted it through the ionosphere, and then this antenna would capture it. So it would capture the signals, and then it would basically they would know if there was a missile launch, for example. Prepare the drone now. Yeah, so yeah, we did a flyby on the Cessna, which was really cool. And yeah, there are lots of interesting things about it that I'll tell you in my video. So we went inside like the control room as well, and like it's all gonna be in the video that I'm gonna be posting. So yeah, lots of really interesting, Soviet Union like themes. And yeah, and over here, these buildings, these apartment buildings where the military personnel lived. And amplifiers were actually cooled by water. Oh yeah, that's right. Telling me this is just a teaser. Well, yes, the video is coming. So this is just a preview, but we wanted to do this stream to, do the charity stream to help out, my friends at Second Front Ukraine. Okay, I'm gonna watch the movie, and then you should totally watch that movie. We'll definitely check the video out. Oh, awesome. So yes, this helicopter once again is courtesy of High Performance Group. We are overflying in Chernobyl Exclusion Zone today. And by the way, there we go, High Performance Group. Hello, they just entered the chat as well. And we are overflying the Chernobyl Exclusion Zone, exactly where I was here. And you can see this antenna once again here. A couple of pictures that I took. That's how this antenna looks like in real life. So there it is. Beautiful helicopter. The Airbus H145 get yours now. From High Performance Group. Okay, so that's pretty much it, what I wanted to show you. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna fly back, so you guys can stick around and ask me questions now. But I'm gonna fly back, we're gonna overfly the city of Bucha, and we're gonna land. We're gonna fly Hostomel as well. I'm gonna talk to you about how I saw the Antonov Maria, which is now destroyed. We actually got to see it, and you saw it on the video of that flight. That it is now destroyed. We're so lucky to see it. Probably, you know, it was. I think we saw it in September, and it did a flight, did a couple of flights, and then it went on to maintenance, and that's how it got destroyed. You have to wear a mask and walk around. No, you don't have to wear a mask, unless you're going into a high contaminated area, which we did not. If you're outside, I'm surprised they didn't tear the antenna down to recycle. Excellent question. Now, the reason they don't want to touch it. So the interesting part about it, so they actually started to deassemble the antenna. And they actually did cut some scraps out of it. And let me show you. There are some scraps. The then president of Ukraine said that no, this is going to be a monument, don't touch it. It's going to be a national monument. Yeah, there we go. So there's some scraps. You can see those scraps over here. So they did cut the scraps. They wanted to, you know, use that metal, of course, and recycle it, but they decided to just keep it. There was also a kind of a rumor that they thought that, you know, if they're gonna destroy it, if it's gonna fall, it will create a mini earthquake, and that's going to affect the sarcophagus. Look how close the nuclear power plant is to the antenna. So they were really afraid. They're really afraid that it will fall down and it will cause a mini earthquake. So they decided not to touch it. So there it is. That's Duga. It's this city, little town, is called Chernobyl 2. So secret town. Of course, all the secret towns in the Soviet Union would have numbers added to them. So this was Chernobyl 2. That's how it is. You'd be amazed to see what user left abandoned across Soviet car trucks, military vehicles. Oh, you know what? Good point. Let's go see Rasoha. I think we're gonna see Rasoha, and Rasoha is the vehicle graveyard. So I do have a custom scenery that shows how the graveyard looked before people just started using the scrape metal, and they started stealing it. Of course, because it was Soviet Union. I'm gonna just try to find it here. Rasoha. Going to be a bit tough to find, but we're going to try to find it as we're heading back. We're going to head back to Kyiv now. Let's see where it is. I think I need to alter my heading to the right. So Justin said, I thought everything would be all overgrown with plants and trees. Oh, 100%. 100% it is. 100% it is, because if you saw my photos from Pripyat, that's exactly how it is there. So if you, let me show you. So Pripyat looks like a forest now. So if you look into it, show you a picture of Pripyat. Look at that. See this? So where apartment buildings are, it's in the middle of the forest. So all the apartment buildings, everything it's all green. Look at this. Look how vegetation took over. It took over everything. So trees, there's lots of animals. One of the interesting sights that I saw, which freaked me out, was the kindergarten. And there were illegal stalkers, so illegal tourists that came in, and they actually they painted everything. And look at that. So they put these dolls on beds, and they put a whole bunch of posters. So that was really freaky when we saw it. That was really freaky. So look at that. So you look into the ruins, and all of a sudden you come into the room full of. You can even see the window coverings and the books, and that was freaky. But yeah. But there you go, new pics. Yeah, tank. Yeah. Lots of cool bunker vids. Yeah, I have lots of pictures, lots of them to show you guys. But yeah, feel free to ask me questions right now. I'll answer your questions as we're flying to the sunset, and hopefully we'll get to see where Asocha is. I'm just gonna find it real quick. I need to find it. This is where they had the contaminated vehicles. So I'm just gonna quickly look into the maps because I don't have it. I don't have that waypoint, unfortunately. Let's see. Socha, Ukraine. So that's near Sokoly. Okay, so we are actually flying there now. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll get to see it. I believe it's coming up soon. So this is the contaminated graveyard, vehicle graveyard. That used to look like this. Let me find you a picture, a photo of the way it looked before. The Socha vehicle graveyard. Yeah, it used to look like this. Used to look like this. So lots of helicopters, lots of vehicles, and then unfortunately something happened, and either they moved those vehicles, they cut them into little pieces, or they buried them. No one knows. But we're flying to the scenery that will show us. Yeah, I think this is it. Oh yeah, this is it. We're here. So this scenery right here, this is a custom scenery once again of the Asocha, and there's this developer that made it the way it was in 1987. So you'll see how the vehicle graveyard looked during the Soviet Union times. You'll see how massive the vehicle graveyard is. Sorry. Okay, there it is. There's the Asocha gear graveyard. It's coming up now. This is all machinery. These are all vehicles that were used to clean up the contamination. And of course, lots of civilian vehicles as well. So there it is. And there's helicopters, Mi-26, V-8. So a lot of military LAVs, right? Light armored vehicles were used to clean up the mess. So there we go. There's all the contaminated vehicles. Lots of buses, helicopters, fire trucks, LAVs, tanks. So yes, these were all helicopters. So the helicopters were used Mi-26, Mi-24, and Mi-8. So those were mil helicopters. Of course, the light armored vehicles, the LAVs that were used in the cleanup operation. Lots of civilian vehicles as well. You see lots of scrap. So this is the graveyard, vehicle graveyard. It's great scenery, by the way. Wild Topak says, when I go remote camping sites on island, I see people trying to build benches, tables, chairs from logs, decorate, make the place better. I think it is some philosophy. Yeah, for sure. The FSX program is old and no longer supported by MSBS. It was my job for 20 years. Oh, interesting. Interesting. What's your estimate on your joystick you're using? Well, I love that joystick. This one. The Warthog right here. It's the best. As I'm a real-world pilot, so for me, this is incredibly perfect just because it's metal. It has that same look and feel. Sorry, not look and feel. It has the same feel as a regular stick that I fly, so I fly diamond stick, so it has that, you know, good resistance that I need, just like the real thing, almost. Okay, so we're now flying back, and don't go away. I will use this time for me to answer your questions. So price range, it is probably around $400 US, I think, so not that much. So with the Okay, so Eric says they couldn't decontaminate the military vehicles and aircraft. No, a lot of money saved. No, they couldn't. They couldn't. These vehicles were like glowing almost, right? So you can try eBay. They're pretty cheap. Yeah, exactly. Lillian says, I'm very impressed. You know everything about Chernobyl. Thank you so much. Great job. Great attitude. Respect. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for sending stars today. All the stars will be donated to the charity. Once again, appreciate guys. Thank you so much. We're donating all the stars today to Second Front. Second Front is the charity from Toronto, so I know them very well. So thank you so much. And once again, they did not ask me to do it. I just decided to do it. You know. And I'm so proud of you guys for supporting it. You guys are incredible. So I'll gather around what we got so far, and then I will make the transfer and then I'll post it. Okay. So we're almost exiting the zone now, so we're now flying back to Kyiv. You rock and kept the streamer. Oh, thanks man. Thanks Tommy. Oh, Tommy Tramazon just got mine for 200. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Okay, so we'll enjoy those passenger views, and I'll do the moment of silence as we're gonna overfly city of Hostomel and Bucha. So stick around. We will have a minute of silence when we're gonna overfly those cities that were affected by the invasion. So I'd appreciate if we.
Ryan Crew Dog DC sent
All right, Ryan, thank you
750
so much, man.
stars.
750
Great stream tonight,
stars.
sir.
Ryan
Here are
says, great stream tonight, sir. Here's
750 more
50 more
stars.
stars. You'll have a
You'll
great
have a
evening.
good evening
Thank you
and
so
be
much,
safe.
man. Thank you so much. Fuel gauge, yep. So fuel's good. We got the full tanks, so we got it. So there you go. So we have 490 kilograms of fuel right now. So let's go here. So fuel temperature 6, and yeah, engine oil. We get it. Yeah, we have 388
Conan
kilograms on the main
Dorman
tank.
sent 830
346.
stars. I'll give
So-
you the rest of the stars I have for our friends in
Man.
Ukraine.
Thank you so much, Conan. Thank you so much, man. I'll give you the rest of the stars I have for our friends in Ukraine. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So happy and so glad that you guys are supporting. And you know, I'll definitely add, so all of the, and also, by the way, all of the monthly support, I'll also add that to our donation, so that will be for me. So all the monthly support that I got this month, I will transfer it all to my friends. And this is for Second Front Ukraine, so they're sending humanitarian supplies to Ukraine, so I will post the transfer also on a page. Okay, and we're almost at Hostomel, and you've probably seen the video of me overflying it, and we were lucky to see the Maria when we overflew it. And let me just quickly show you how that looked like. Wow, Cesar, thank you so much for the 200. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. How often does terrain update show the devastation? Oh, actually, I don't think it would. So it wouldn't update the buildings, of course, unless someone makes a custom scenery. It would not update the buildings. Let me show you the flight we did. I think I have the photos. Oh, I'm not sure. Well, you've seen it on a video, right? So this is the flight we did to around Chernobyl. That was after 2 days we went there. We flew it in the Cessna. And this is this was from Kyiv south, and you'll see that video on my YouTube channel. I posted video of that flight, and there we go. We flew over the city of Kyiv, and of course that's how the power plant looks from the air, from the from the window of a Cessna. So Cesar, thank you so much. How often does terrain update? Yeah, I already answered that. Awesome. So we are almost close to the city of Bucha and Hostomel. So we're gonna overfly the city where the unfortunate events have happened. You may have seen it on the news. If you watch the news, you probably know what Bucha is. So, Benjamin says, loved it. Awesome. Awesome. Fantastic. So, yeah, all monthly supporters, by the way, you'll be featured in the video. So, there's a Chernobyl series of 5 episodes are coming. They're going to be posted on my channel of an actual trip there. So, this was sort of like a preview, a virtual preview, I'd say. So, we are right now around 25 nautical miles away from Bucha. We're here. Probably adjust my heading a little bit. Then check that we're not over speeding. And of course we'll take a look and we'll probably go direct to. So I wonder if I can go direct to. I'm just trying to see how this GPS works. Can I go direct to in this? Oh well, we're just gonna have to visually navigate to it. I need to study the GPS more. Okay, so we're approaching the city of Hostomel, and you will see where the Antonov was stationed at. Benjamin says, loved it. Alright, thanks a lot for sticking around, guys. Don't go away, we're still gonna debrief real quick. And of course, we'll overfly the city of Bucha. You'll see it yourself. Probably go a little bit to the right of it. Vibe, yeah, exactly. Vibe. Justin says, I was getting Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies just looking at the antenna. Oh, so antenna will be in the upcoming Stalker video game. So Stalker video game is coming. So that antenna will be there. I don't know if the Stalker is going to get released when they promised it. So we'll see. So this is the village of Dimir. As you know, the Russian forces attacked from the north. So that's where we're flying from. We're flying southbound now. So most likely this village was affected, unfortunately. So they were moving southbound.
Eric Vandor sent 1,000 stars. Thank you, Flight Streamer,
Eric,
for the awesome and very informative tour. I also appreciate
Eric,
your efforts for supporting the people of Ukraine.
Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you so much. Eric says, thank you, Flight Streamer, for the awesome, very informative tour. I also appreciate your efforts for supporting the people of Ukraine. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, you know, Ukraine holds a special place in my heart, of course, and I was always wanted to go to Chernobyl, and I've been to Kyiv twice. Once in 2013 and once in 2021. I wanted to visit Chernobyl ever since 1997 after reading the book called Chernobyl Prayer by Svetlana Alexievich. That's actually the book that the HBO series were based on. So long before HBO series, long before, you know, all of this got very famous. Always wanted to go there, and you know, I went there, and now looking at what happens in Ukraine, of course, thank you so much, guys. Thanks a lot, Derek, once again, for the generous donation to the charities, the Second Front. And these guys get all the humanitarian supplies, and they ship them straight to Ukraine and help out the poor people. So we are approaching the city of Bucha and Hostomel. This is where Maria was stationed at. The biggest airplane in the world unfortunately got destroyed. And not only that, but the poor people of Bucha were affected by this tragedy, and you've probably seen what happened. So with that, we're almost there. Just maybe 4 more minutes as we approach it. You can see the runway over there. So we'll just need to adjust the views. There it is. So this is village of Gavrilivka, over there on the left. And you can see Hostomel Airport on the left-hand side. Justin says, appreciate it, Flight Streamer. I gotta log off. Thank you again. Very informative. Thanks a lot, Justin. Thank you. Thank you so much for sticking around and still being with us. I know Facebook's not, for some reason, not recommending us today, but that's okay. I'm so happy that you guys are still with me and you found this informative. We're almost there. We're just looking at this beautiful sunset. You know, the sun's about to settle down as we are ending our tour to Chernobyl today. And here is Hostomel Airport. That's the airport that got hit. The Maria was stationed over there, so there's the hangar over there. That's where Maria was. And right after Hostomel, we're going to overfly the city of Bucha on your left-hand side. You can see it over here on the map. That's the Hostomel Airport. So over here, this is where Maria was at the point of attack. But when we overflew it, 6 months ago, it was actually here. So, but this was the hangar that was there. So we're gonna overfly it on the left-hand side over there, and then city of Bucha is over here, and Bucha and Irpin. So this is the cities that got affected. You will see how big the Hostomel is and how big the Bucha is. So there it is. There's the Hostomel Airport. And the beautiful city of Bucha straight ahead. So let's just have some moment of silence as we pass these cities, and I'll put some music on just to, you know, All right, thank you so much for the moment of silence as we look into this beautiful sunset and remember all the victims of this tragedy. And with that, we're going to be ending the stream shortly. We just need to land now. So we're looking into landing in Juliana International. So thanks everyone. Thank you so much. Can you fly Maria Flight Simulator? I think so, but I think Microsoft is gonna make it. Is gonna make the model. I think they're working on it, so hopefully we'll get to fly it. I think this is it. This is Juliana International. Yeah, we're gonna probably land here. So we're now entering the city of Kyiv. We're going back, and we're gonna be landing shortly, and we'll debrief. And yeah, this was. I hope you found this interesting. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. You know, it was a very interesting throwback to that experience. It was a very interesting experience. You know, I kind of pictured how I'm gonna go to Chernobyl, and you know, what am I gonna feel. And what I felt was completely different than what I've imagined. It was a very strange feeling, you know, and it's hard to explain. So yeah, you'll see it in the video. I'll once I'll start publishing those videos, you'll see what I mean. You play Stalker. Probably I might actually play it once it gets released. We'll see. So if you think we should play it on the stream, I don't know if I'm not gonna scare anyone away. Oh, thank you so much, Conan. I have to give Ukraine more after the moment of silence. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much, man. Thanks so much, Conan. Appreciate it. Thank you so much once again for sending stars, man. Oh man, you're so awesome. I have to give Ukraine more. Thanks, man. Thanks. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for your support. So we are now entering Juliana International, and we're gonna just. Actually, you know what? That's not even Juliana. That's Antonov State. Yeah, that's Antonov State Company. So that's Antonov Space. So we're probably gonna land here. Might as well. So we're gonna come around for landing. Let's pick a nice spot. Probably park close to those Cessnas. Sad. Is what it is. Yeah, absolutely. 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 Once again, Conan, thank you so much. Right. Now we're gonna land. We're gonna shut down. We'll go through checklist because I do have a checklist over here. Okay, so landing lights on. Landing lights are on, so that's good. Asif, thank you. There it is. Yeah, I appreciate it, guys, if you share the stream, if you liked it, you enjoyed it. You know, maybe a few folks will watch it too. So thanks a lot. Yes, we're coming down to land. So hopefully, I'm not a helicopter pilot, so there it is. So I'm just trying to make it as smooth as possible. There we go. 20 knots, 200 to 60 to 50. Coming down. We need to get you down safely. There it is. Tommy, thank you so much for the 50. Thanks a lot, man. Thank you so much. Okay, there it is. There we go. All right, fantastic. There we go, we just landed. Excellent, so we can now probably open those doors, right? So let's get those doors open. So as we open the doors, we're gonna do, after landing, engine shutdown checklists. So we're gonna go into overhead. Actually, to get the lights. Turn on lights, yeah. I seem to turn on the overhead lights, but that's okay. Okay, so strobes are off. The strobes are off. Landing lights off. And searchlight is off. Well, yeah, searchlight was off. Cyclic neutral. Collective full down. So going back to main. Engine 1 and 2 switches. We go into off. There we go. Shutting it down now. You got the doors are open now. There you go. There you go, guys. Beautiful sunset. Eric said you got this. Yeah, there you go. I think we did it, right? I think we did it. There we go. We did it. Okay, so fuel transfer switches are off. Betastatic is off. And avionics master 1 and 2 off. And standby batteries off. Lavix switches off. Okay, off. Perfect. And air conditioning is off. We didn't even have it. So well, we didn't need okay, engine 1 to switch to idle. That's good. Okay, rotors are stopped. Interior lights are off. Okay, everything is off. Battery master is now off. There we go. Now I have this searchlight over here. Look at all those fingerprints. Look at that. So yeah, this was helicopter Airbus H145 Державна прикордонна служба України. It is the border patrol of Ukraine. So border services. And this says they will not pass. And you probably know who these guys are talking about. So yeah. There it is. This is it. This was it. Once again, guys, thank you so much. You guys are incredible. I did not even think I would get any donations today because, you know, Facebook wasn't even recommending us this time. So I was, you know, I thought we are gonna get, you know, a few bucks in there, but I didn't realize we got so many stars today. So I appreciate it, everyone who sent stars. I'm gonna create a thank you video afterwards. I know I owe you guys the thank you video for the across the pond. I'll do that one, and then we'll see if we hit that minimum, and we'll see if we're gonna be able to send you guys the shirts. I'm gonna talk to the fund, see how it all works. But yeah. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys. And if you're watching the recording, you can still drop stars in, and that's all gonna go into the fund. If you're watching the recording, in case you are. So a quick debrief what we've done today, and we're gonna probably turn on those breadcrumbs. There's a feature called breadcrumbs. So that will allow us to see what we did. There we go. So that's exactly what we did. I'm gonna clear this path over here and probably gonna get rid of our nautical. So what we did is we took off from Boryspil International. And that's the international airport for Kyiv, capital city of Ukraine. Then we flew to Kyiv over here. So we saw the Motherland Monument over here. We did the Kyiv Pechorska Lavra. We saw it. We saw the Independence Square over here. Then we flew to the TV tower, the famous TV tower that was hit. Darsal, thanks a lot for the share, man. Thank you so much for the share. Thank you for the share. And then we flew kind of north. We overflew the Kyiv Reservoir, right? That's the Dnieper River. That turns into Dnieper River over here. So this reservoir turns into this little river over here. We flew to the checkpoint of Dityatki, right? So that's the checkpoint. You enter the zone here. And then we flew to city of Chernobyl. And then we did a bit of a turnaround at the Lviv checkpoint. Lviv checkpoint. And then we flew to the cooling pond and the unit 5 and 6 over here, 5 and 6. That's under construction. Then we did a few circles around, you know, the power plant itself. We flew around it, kind of talked about it. And then we went to city of Pripyat, you know, the famous city of Pripyat over here. We did a few orbits, you know, we overflew some of its landmarks, of course. And then we went to, we saw the Red Forest. That was interesting. And then overflew Chernobyl too. That was the Duga, the radar, the famous radar. And then we went to Rasocha, the graveyard for where the older machinery and helicopters were stored in. And then we went to Bucha. This is where we did the overfly and moment of silence. And then we landed over here in Antonov State Company Airport. So this is it. That was it. That was the briefing. The woodpecker. Yes, exactly, Chad. The woodpecker. So that antenna is also known woodpecker because the reason why it's called woodpecker is because it would make the continuous frequency tones like a woodpecker would just kind of knock, like knocking sounds. So it was called woodpecker for sure. You know it, Chad. You know it. Thanks, man. Thanks a lot for sending stars too, man. Thanks. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Huge thank to all of my VIP monthly supporters. I know we got a monthly supporter today. Got a new monthly supporter, and we also got tons of stars. We had raid from Game Boy Red, and lots of likes, lots of shares, follows, and things like that. So truly appreciate you guys, all your support. This was the Chernobyl excursion, 36 years later, and stick around. Don't unfollow the stream. I'll be posting my 5 episode videos about Chernobyl, about the trip itself, to my YouTube channel as well as this page. Yeah, I hope you learned a lot. Nice. Justin says I learned a lot. Nice. Yeah, this stream is always about learning. I always try to make sure that I try not to waste people's time. So I know some streamers like to just kind of fly around and just chat. I like the geeky aspect of it. I'm just different. I'm not saying that there's some really good entertainers out there that are far more entertaining than me, but I like to do it in a geeky way where we get to learn together, and I try to make it as real as possible. And of course, I learned a lot too with you together, and you guys were the ones that sent me there. Without you, any one of you who follow the stream, I would not go, right? So especially all of you guys who followed me from the very beginning and sent stars a while back. It's you got me there. Anton, thank you so much, man. Anton, by the way, he's from the charity. Nice. Thanks a lot for 200, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for your support, guys. I'm so happy that we got to collect some stars for the charity, and look out for the thank you post. And once again, thanks guys for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, sharing, sending stars. You guys are incredible. And with that, I'd like to say goodbyes, and we're probably gonna just maybe raid someone. I'll see if there's someone that we can raid that I know about. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, so it looks like King J13 is still streaming. Yeah, let's raid King J13, another streamer, so we can just... So raid means that we're just gonna send viewers to his stream in case you wanted to support him. So let's do that. I'm just starting to raid. So yes, with that, once again, I'd like to thank you guys and have a great night, everyone. Cheers.